Hi everyone, Allie here with the Potomac Bead Company, and I'm going to show you how to do our Dropping Tila's bracelet design. For this bracelet design, I am using a couple different types of seed beads. I'm using the new Tilas, the Miyuki brand Tilas. The color that I'm using is the matte metallic khaki. I'm also going to be using the teardrop, and I'm using the sparkle lined drops, also the Miyuki in amethyst. I'm going to be using a matte metallic dark bronze in an 11 Delica, and I also have a matte opaque golden green, and that is in an 11O. I'm using wildfire beading thread, and I'm going to be clasping it with a amethyst 10mm bead. To start out, I have threaded my thread, and I have 2 needles. This requires the 2 needles going through different ways. To start out with, I'm going to start out by picking up one of my Tila beads and dropping it down to the bottom of my thread. Halfway. I pick up 3 seed beads on one needle, and while you're not working with the other needle, you can go ahead and tuck it into your bead mat. So I pick up 3 of my 11O seed beads. You can do this with cubes, you can do this with 8O seed beads, you just won't use as many. Once I have them on one thread going one way, I'm going to take this other needle back through the opposite direction. This is going to force the beads to lay down right on top of my Tila bead. There I'm going to have the Tila, and then I have my seed beads. Now I'm going to proceed to add another Tila. The Tilas have 2 holes, so when I go through this hole, I'm going to be going through the bottom of the hole. I work from the bottom up. I add my clasp separately with my bracelet, because that way, if by any chance my thread would break at my clasp, my whole bracelet is not going to come apart. So I've had my needle on one direction, going one way. I'm going to fold the Tila over in place, just because that makes it easier to hold. And I'm going to take my needle through in the opposite direction. Again, pull the thread through the whole way, and that'll force it to lay right over the top again. I'm going to continue doing this. The next time that I go in a hole, I'm going opposite direction, and you're continuing that for the whole length of the bracelet. Once you're done with that length of the bracelet, then we go back and we add the drops. Now that I'm done stitching up my middle, which is the Tilas and the size 11 beads, I'm going to start adding my fringe on the side. You can do this while you're doing the ladder that you're building, or you can do it after the fact. I like to do it after the fact because it stiffens the bracelet and it has more passes going through the Tila beads. So on the side of one thread, I've added one of my Delica beads, one of my seed bead drops, and another Delica bead. I'm coming out of the top of a Tila, which is how I started and ended, was with a Tila. I go through the next hole, going the opposite direction, and give it a pull taunt. That's just going to create my little dip there. I come back through the 11s here. That's going to make it nice and tight. Go back through on this side of your next Tila, and I'm going to add my drop on this side. As you continue, it's going to be zigzagging every other. So on the next pass, again, I'm going to add my size 11 here. And then I add my drop, my size 11 Delica, let it fall next down to the Tila, pass through the Tila going back in the opposite direction. So you're just zigzagging along the entire bracelet. Sewing back through my 11 seed beads, back through the Tila. That's next down in the line. So I'm just going from top to bottom the whole way down the bracelet, zigzagging, sewing through each section. And now when I get ready, I'm going to have my next drops on the right hand side.